The details that I'm about to share with you in this video are so fascinating that it's going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the Sahara Desert and our lost ancient past.
Beneath the scorching sands of the Sahara, scientists just uncovered traces of a civilization lost to time. Hidden riverbeds, ancient cities, and megalakes tell of a green, thriving Sahara, lush with life just 5,000 years ago. What they found beneath the dunes defies everything we thought we knew. This wasn't just a desert, it was once home to complex societies, now buried and forgotten. Until now, the vanished Green Sahara. New stalagmite evidence from caves in southern Morocco reveals that the Sahara experienced significantly increased rainfall from about 8,700 to 4,300 years ago. During the African humid period, uranium-thorium dating of tiny stalagmite fragments shows they grew only when surface rainwater penetrated soil to drip down. In direct contrast to today's driest zones, over 4 millennia, the region supported grassy plains, freshwater ecosystems, and human pastoralism, marked by abundant rainfall and ecological fertility. Sediment cores beneath the Mediterranean and across the Sahara further demonstrate multiple greening phases over the past 160,000 years. These humid intervals correspond with orbitally driven monsoon expansions. At peak, rivers like the ancient Tamanrasset, mapped by sediment analysis and compared via satellite to modern Ganges basin scale, flowed across vast landscapes. These rivers carried water from the Atlas and Hagar Mountains toward the Atlantic, forming huge drainage basins and deltas. Between approximately 5,000 and 4,300 years BP, this lush environment collapsed, sometimes within as little as 1 century. Regional records show that ancient vegetation retreated swiftly, forcing lakes and river flows to vanish. This rapid aridification is linked to shifts in Earth's orbital precession and weakening West African monsoon patterns. It explains how a green Sahara transformed into today's hyper-arid desert in human lifetimes. Yet during that green phase, the Sahara was not lifeless. Human societies lived, migrated, traded, and buried their dead by lake shores, using freshwater resources for herding and fishing economies. As rainfall declined, settlement patterns shifted southward or collapsed entirely. Thousands of years later, only dust and dunes remain, where elephants, giraffes, and hippos once roamed. This vanished world sets the stage for the mystery of lost rivers, lakes, and civilizations buried beneath sand. From vanished savannas, next we spotlight the network of hidden rivers and lost waterways. Radar and satellite imagery now trace paleo channels beneath Western Sahara, from Mauritania and Mali to Algeria, dating back to the African humid period. These buried riverbeds, comparable to the modern Ganges in scale, align with Green Sahara timelines, show 5,000 BP. They likely powered migration corridors and settlements long erased by shifting sands. In Section 2, we explore how these subterranean rivers were discovered and what they reveal. Hidden rivers and lost waterways. Recent radar and satellite imagery from JAXA and European teams have uncovered extensive paleo river networks beneath the sands of Western Sahara, particularly in Mauritania, Mali, and Algeria. These buried riverbeds, some stretching more than 500 kilometers inland, form branching channels of a vanished hydrological system. Researchers published findings in Nature Communications revealing their scale and geomorphology. These ancient rivers likely flowed during the African humid period, roughly 5,000 years before present BP, when rainfall reactivated vast drainage systems. The Tamanrasset River system, now dry, once rivaled the modern Ganges-Brahmaputra basin in size and flow. Paleo rivers like Kadatwi Moimai, also spelled Wadiuadatwi, may have transported fresh water to the Atlantic coast, supporting ecosystems and human migration routes across the Sahara. Independent discovery teams across Mauritania, Mali, Algeria, and southern Libya have documented riverbeds dating to around 5,000 BP, using ground radar, infrared scanning, and remote satellite surveys. These findings correlate strongly with Green Sahara phases indicated by stalagmite and sediment data. The paleo rivers appear consistent with descriptions by Herodotus, who wrote of the Nile flowing west to east, possibly reflecting now-vanished river geography. These lost waterways provided routes for early human settlement, herding culture, and trade. In eras when the Sahara was wet, these rivers formed corridors that guided migrations and cultural exchange across otherwise inhospitable terrain. They enabled livestock, pottery, and burial practices across hundreds of kilometers, linking oasis communities that would later vanish under shifting sands. Next, we dive into megalakes and water worlds. From paleo rivers, we move to vast inland lakes such as Megachad, which once covered up to 360,000 kilometers, around 10 times the size of Lake Chad today. Shorelines and ancient beaches visible via satellite show lakes persisted through the African humid period. These freshwater worlds dried during the same abrupt collapse around 5,000 BP, but during their peak they shaped human settlements, migration, and ecosystems like no desert ever could. Megalakes and water worlds. During the African humid period, the Sahara contained enormous freshwater bodies, Megachad being the largest. Studies show it spanned approximately 360,000 kilometers, even reaching about 400,000 kilometers, 150,000 mi2, at its peak, larger than any modern lake or ocean-enclosed sea. Elevation and radar data confirm these immense paleolakes extended across Chad Basin, fed by massive river inflow from the Central Sahara, and Sahel smaller paleolakes dotted the Central Sahara too, including the Gobero Basin in what is now Niger, which measured around 3 kilometers across during its peak. These lakes supported dense populations, creating lakeside communities with fishing, burial grounds, and settlements spanning millennia. Such freshwater worlds provided ecological support across an otherwise arid landscape. The paleo shorelines of Megachad and Gobero are still detectable via satellite imagery and ground observations. Faint beach ridges, dune terraces, and fossilized fish middens marked by ancient clams and crocodile bones. Lake Chad shrank dramatically in the late Holocene due to decreased groundwater input and rainfall, reducing to just 355 kilometers by modern times, a tiny remnant of its former glory. These megalakes dried almost entirely between 6,000 and 4,300 BP, coinciding with the abrupt collapse of the green Sahara climate. The disappearance of freshwater lakes forced human populations to migrate, abandon settlement zones, and adapt to harsher subsistence patterns. This environmental shock reshaped North African ecology, human culture, and possibly early Egyptian civilization too. Early settlements. In Gobero, Niger's remote Tenere Desert, archaeologists discovered one of the Sahara's most significant prehistoric sites. Occupied continuously from around 8,000 to 3,000 BCE, Gobero served as a lakeside cemetery and settlement for nearly 5,000 years. Excavations between 2000 and 2019 unearthed approximately 182 graves, yielding stone tools, pottery, and artifacts such as hippo tusk bracelets and turtle shell ornaments. The site boasts the earliest known cemetery in the Sahara and reveals how cultures shifted from hunter-fisher groups to pastoral societies over millennia. Radiocarbon data places the earliest burials between 7,700 and 6,200 BCE during the humid Kiphian phase. Then the environment transitioned around 6,200 BCE, causing intense aridification that led to Gobero's abandonment by 5,200 BCE. Later, around 2,500 BCE, new groups, referred to as Tenerian, reoccupied the basin, living in drier conditions but still exploiting remaining water sources. Gobero's longevity and resilience make it unique in Saharan archaeological records. Meanwhile, Oued Muhagiag, a rock shelter in southwest Libya, reveals richly detailed evidence of pastoral life during the Green Sahara period. Occupied between 7,500 and 2,700 BCE, it yielded the Tashwinot mummy, dated to roughly 5,600 BP, making it at least 1,000 years older than Egyptian mummies. The presence of fish bones, pottery, turtles, and engraved rock art, featuring elephants, giraffes, crocodiles, and round-head figures, clearly reflects a lush, freshwater environment. These sites testify to complex human adaptations. At Gobero, burial practices evolved from lakeside cemeteries with fish and bone deposits to pastoral burials with cattle remains. Oued Muhagiag's stratigraphy shows 7 occupational layers, indicating repeated settlement over centuries. Pottery, microliths, and symbols found here reveal evolving subsistence from fishing and gathering to cattle herding and social hierarchy. Together, Gobero and Oued Muhagiag illuminate the cultural shifts shaped by climate transitions in the Sahara. These tropical settlements disappeared as dry conditions intensified around 5,400 BP, just as the lakes and rivers vanished. Populations that once thrived were forced to retreat to the Nile Valley or Sudanese Sahel. Gobero's shift from human remains featuring late Pleistocene craniometry to more gracile later humans symbolizes deep cultural transformation. The archaeological record ties closely to climate. When water disappeared, so did the lakeside societies. From settlements and cemeteries, we now move into their genetics in Section 5. Ancient DNA reveals a lost lineage. At Takarkori rock shelters, remains dated 7,000 years ago belong to the unique haplogroup N, distinct from Near East ancestry, suggesting genetic isolation and continuity in the Sahara. That lineage persists partially in modern North Africans. These findings reshape our understanding of pastoral migrations, trade, and cultural longevity across millennia. Ancient DNA reveals a lost lineage. At Takarkori rock shelters, located in southwestern Libya, archaeologists excavated burials dated around 7,000 years before present, BP. DNA analysis from these remains revealed membership in mitochondrial haplogroup N, a lineage distinct from Near Eastern lines and largely unrecognized in modern Saharan groups. Genetic data indicates that these early Sahara inhabitants were relatively isolated and interacted minimally with Near Eastern populations until around 7,500 BP, when pastoral migration introduced limited gene flow. This ancient genetic identity persisted through time, blending modestly with migrating pastoralists. Today, remnants of haplogroup N are detectable in modern North African populations, indicating strong cultural and biological continuity across 7,000 years. The presence of a consistent ancient lineage tied to a wet Sahara environment reveals how human populations adapted to dramatic climate swings while preserving societal identities. Genetic evidence aligns with cultural data from Gobero and Uwan Muhugiag. Rock art, pastoral tools, and burial practices reflect long-term adaptation. Takarkori DNA adds a biological dimension, confirming the existence of a distinct population with pastoral traditions, possibly influencing early Egyptian dynasties via shared Saharan trajectories. The genetic continuity across dry and humid phases underscores remarkable resilience in shifting conditions. Together with archaeological settlements and green Sahara climate data, ancient DNA builds a narrative: stable lineages, sustained occupational zones, and diverse economies based on freshwater lakes and pastoral resources. Takarkori's findings shift us from speculative theory to concrete proof that human culture and biology thrived in green Sahara conditions and evolved as the desert disappeared. From genetics, we now turn to Section 6. AI and ground-penetrating radar uncover cities. Cutting-edge AI systems and satellite radar are now detecting buried prehistoric settlements beneath Sahara dunes, stone forts, irrigation canals, and multi-layered ruins near Mali, Mauritania, and Algeria. Many structures stand 4 meters tall with clear irrigation layouts. Yet less than 1% of the Sahara has been surveyed archaeologically. Section 6 explores how modern tools are rewriting our map of lost civilizations. AI and ground-penetrating radar uncover cities. Modern archaeology in the Sahara is entering a new era. Space-borne radar and AI-driven satellite imagery are now revealing buried settlement structures beneath dunes across Mauritania, Mali, and Algeria. Indian Defense Review and Natural History Museum data indicate that stone forts, canal-like embankments, and irrigation remains, some walls reaching 4 meters high, are visible in remote desert regions via radar detection and machine learning classification from aerial data. These discoveries align with reports of independent survey teams in multiple countries identifying river networks and settlement mounds dating to around 5,000 BP, consistent with known occupation windows during the African humid period. Many structures remain undated and unassigned to specific cultures. The imagery shows organized grids, circular forts, and communal dwellings dispersed in clusters, hinting at multi-layered civilizations predating known empires. Gobero and Uwan Muhugiag were just the beginning. Now AI algorithms trained to detect rectangular foundations, wall alignments, and ancient roads allow archaeologists to flag high-probability zones for field verification. Drone-based ground-penetrating radar confirms anomalies below the surface. Foundations and sediment shifts matching paleoclimatic periods of 7,000–3,000 BP. These tools suggest the Sahara may house multiple undiscovered urban or agro-urban centers. Though less than 1% of the Sahara has been archaeologically surveyed, these early results indicate the potential for an archaeological jackpot. Buried towns, irrigation systems, and trade route hubs could rewrite ancient African history. With combined support from AI and remote sensing, researchers now plan targeted excavations near Mali's Taoudeni, Mauritania's Iron Age forts, and Libyan Wadi zones. The result? A green Sahara civilization likely rich and expansive, once erased by drought, now revealed by technology. Civilization versus culture. In the heart of present-day Libya, archaeologists have uncovered impressive stone fortresses that predate or lie outside the known range of the Garamantes Empire, 100 BCE, 100 CE. These ruins, located in the western Saharan escarpment, include 4-meter-high walls and possible irrigation channels. Unlike Garamantean tunnel cities, many structures lack documented inscriptions or written records, leading researchers like those from the Geological Society of America, 2023, to question whether they represent pre-Garamantes civilizations. Further east in Mali, regular grids of stone enclosures and linear canals are visible via satellite imagery processed with AI-based site detection dated to around 5000 BP. These complexes feature surface-level stone foundations and water harvesting trenches, suggesting organized communities that manage rainwater and seasonal flows. They don't match Garamantean architecture, indicating separate cultures may have flourished independently, possibly contemporaneous with Gobero and Muhugiac. Populations across the Sahara seem to have developed layered settlement patterns. Pastoral communities over earlier hunter-fisher groups, fortified towns above prehistoric villages. The Adouade rock art caves, dated 6000 BP, and unknown fortifications in Mauritania, lacking any written language or known cultural affiliation, hint at multi-millennium occupation by distinct societies, each shaped by shifting climates and hydrology. Given the lack of clear attribution, researchers ask, were these ruins built atop older buried cities? Do multiple lost civilizations sit beneath modern desert sands, waiting to be explored? The repeating patterns, defensive walls, communal layouts in water systems are consistent across sites yet distinct enough from better-known groups. It's plausible that entire lost cultures remain undocumented, and future excavations could bring them to light. With enigmatic ruins blending into mystery, Section 8 will tackle climate collapse explained, how the African humid period ended abruptly around 5,400 years BP, possibly within 1 century, due to Earth's orbital precession. The climate shift dried up rivers and lakes, collapsing ecosystems and ancient civilizations. We'll explore the science behind this transition, monsoon fluctuations, orbital cycles, and resulting human migrations, and show how it coincided with the decline of early Egyptian dynasties. Climate collapse explained, the dramatic shift from a lush green Sahara to arid wasteland occurred around 5,400 BP, according to oxygen isotope records, sediment analysis, and stalagmite chronologies. Earth's orbital precession and weakening African monsoon removed sustained rainfall. Geochemists mapped rapid decline in deltaic fan deposits and pollen counts that show vegetation collapse within centuries, or perhaps even 1 century, a catastrophic change living memory may have recorded. This climate deterioration caused water shortages in lakes and rivers such as Tamanrasset, Gobero Basin, and Megachad. Rainfall dropped from 400-800 millimeters a year to less than 100 millimeters a year and within a time frame too fast to adapt. This environmental rupture forced early Holocene pastoralists, fishermen, and townspeople to migrate toward the Nile Delta, West Africa, and Sahel regions. The timing aligns with archaeological declines. Gobero was abandoned by 5200 BCE, while Muhugiac shows abandonment by 2700 BCE following increased aridity. Simultaneously, Egypt's early dynastic period began around 3100 BCE, suggesting cultural shifts toward the Nile were directly influenced by Sahara collapse. The collapse of the green Sahara ecosystem triggered societal transformations, human displacement, and cultural recombination. It reshaped settlement patterns across North Africa and contributed to human migrations that influenced language families, trade networks, and civilization emergence. Today's desert sands overlay stories of upheaval, resilience, and ecological shock. Next, in Section 9, we explore connections to ancient Egypt and legends. And as the Sahara dried around 5000 BP, Egypt's first dynasty rose. Evidence suggests the Sphinx's rain erosion occurred before 7000 BP, indicating much older construction. Herodotus's ancient accounts hint at a Nile flowing west-east through the Sahara. The mysterious Rishat structure near Mauritania, with Acheulean tools and concentric rings, may align with ancient legends of Atlantis. In this section, we examine how geology and myth may reflect real ancient geography. Connections to ancient Egypt and legends. The timing of the Sahara's transition from green to desert overlaps strikingly with Egypt's first dynasty, 5,000 BP. The rain erosion patterns etched into the Sphinx enclosure near Giza suggest episodes of significant precipitation over 7,000 years ago, long before the traditionally accepted date of 4,500 years ago. This implies that local climate may be far older and correlates with early Green Sahara rainfall allowances. Herodotus accounts, written around 450 BCE, describe a Nile River originating in what we now call Western Mauritania and flowing eastward before turning north towards the delta. A late ancient map, believed derived from his descriptions, aligns with satellite-mapped Paleo River networks dating to around 5,000 BP. Geological alignment suggests Herodotus may have described lost watercourses now buried under sand, testament to formats before language crystallized. The Rishat structure, aka the Eye of the Sahara in Mauritania, stands as concentric rings approximately 50 kilometers in diameter. Archaeologists have recovered Acheulean tools and burial mounds around it. Some fringe theories link it to the site of Atlantis. Others suggest the radial erosion patterns could form natural rings around water basins. Regardless, the geological topography matches ancient descriptions and offers real evidence of Sahara hydrology interactions. These myth geology connections hint at lost geography being remembered in legend and written lore. Ancient Egypt may have emerged as Sahara civilizations collapsed, guiding migration along dried river valleys. Whether through climate, knowledge, or myth, a real pattern links historical memory to human adaptation and movement. In our final section, we examine why this discovery matters. The Sahara's hidden past, its vanished rivers, lakes, settlements, and lost cultures, changes how we view human migration, ecological resilience, and early civilization. It opens avenues for future exploration via drone surveys and DNA analysis, and sets the stage for discovering cities buried beneath dunes. Section 10 reflects on what the Green Sahara means to historians, archaeologists, climate scientists, and modern societies navigating changing deserts today. Why this discovery matters. The implications of the Sahara's ancient, water-rich past are far-reaching. Discoveries of lost rivers, megalakes, and civilizations buried under 3 million square kilometers of desert shift our understanding of human migration, suggesting that early Sahara inhabitants contributed directly to the rise of Nile Valley civilizations and Sahelian culture dispersal via green corridors. This knowledge transforms archaeology. With less than 1% of the Sahara surveyed, remote sensing, AI, and ground-penetrating radar promise to reveal unknown settlements. These buried ruins and irrigation structures challenge the Nile-centric model of early civilization and suggest far more complexity existed across the continent long before dynastic Egypt. Culturally, these findings support ancient legends, whether Herodotus's Nile flows or theories linking the Reche structure to lost civilizations. While mainstream academia remains cautious, the convergence of legend, geology, and archaeology often stems from real environmental memory, even when written records are absent. Finally, the story matters for today's climate perspective. Rapid desertification over a few centuries offers cautionary lessons. Understanding how past societies adapted or collapsed under fast climate change provides guidance for future resilience. These discoveries not only rewrite ancient stories, they help frame how modern societies may respond when greenery turns to sand. What if the world's largest desert once held the seeds of civilization? The Sahara was never just empty sand. Beneath its surface lies a legacy of rivers that rivaled the Ganges, lakes larger than the Great Lakes combined, and towns with stone walls and irrigation systems, all dating back to a time when the Sahara was green and full of life. We now know that between 8,000 and 4,300 years ago, rainfall transformed this barren expanse into a lush savanna. Human settlements like Gobero and Wanmuhugig thrived near freshwater lakes. Rock art, DNA, and archaeological finds reveal people who fished, herded cattle, and honored their dead. Complex, adaptable cultures connected by rivers that stretched across thousands of miles. And then, in less than a few centuries, it all disappeared. A climate shift turned paradise into desert, leaving behind buried cities, mysterious ruins, and forgotten graves. Yet thanks to radar satellites, AI, and persistent scientists, we're piecing together a story lost beneath the dunes. The Sahara is no longer just a symbol of desolation. It's now seen as one of humanity's greatest archaeological frontiers, one that could change everything we know about our past. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, and remember, what seems like emptiness may still hold echoes of forgotten empires.